First tweet that set this woman off, I guess, or that set everything off. My first initial tweet was asking the question. I didn't make a statement. I didn't say it was wrong. I just screenshotted her profile right here. And I asked the question, the primary point of your Twitter is to troll your husband. This is what men are making millions of dollars to get. You guys to pay attention. This is the sisterhood. They're all going to come for me for asking 2 questions. And by the way, what women co-sign is what they deem. So if a woman's defending it, right, that means she deems this acceptable to do to her husband. What's up, guys?
You're on mute. Unmute.
Holla. Hey.
Hey, Pearl.
Hey, Pearl.
What are your I know you guys have thoughts. Lay it on me.
Well, thanks for reaching out. I'll just go real quick and then Joel will take the reins, just because you and I were chatting a little bit about this. And, you know, it's always the sisterhood that gangs up on you. So just like, let it be known that there are women out there who are led by patriarchal men who are not falling for this BS. And you sent me the link, and I was immediately, first thing I did, I went to her profile and I saw her profile picture and I was like, what the heck? You know, like you can always tell right away, but like, what is with the smolder lady? Like she's in a car, her face is done up. She's like doing a duck face by herself. Like, ma'am, put a picture that is appropriate for a wife and a mother of a public figure. And then there's that like whole concept of the public figure. Like, is this, Doug said it yesterday, really briefly at the end, but it's about optics. Now, husbands and wives, they tease each other, you know, behind closed doors, that's fine. But like, you know, the ratio, Joel teased me like 10 times and I'll tease him once. You know, this isn't a lifestyle practice of like teasing your husband and making it part of your brand. Imagine the guy's like, my sole purpose is to troll my wife on X. Women would lose it. What? I can't believe it. He's supposed to make a safe space for her. He's supposed to cradle her and love her and support and nurture her. It's a transgender relationship.
No,
the irony for Matt Walsh. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and I sent it to you because I was like, I think I'm going nuts. Like, because all the response is so crazy. But keep going.
It's extremely ironic that Matt Walsh, one of his like foundation, you know, core tropes is anti the transformer agenda. Excuse me. And his marriage is like totally like that. I mean, when a woman is by herself and her brand is taking pot shots at her husband, is getting giggles at your husband's expense, it's emasculating, it's insulting. And, you know, with that example of her like mocking about his fly down, Joel and I saw that, and Joel was like, that's not funny. Like, guys have traumatizing experiences of being busted with their fly down. I thought, imagine a guy texted his wife that she was on national television and she had like lipstick on her teeth while she was smiling, or she was, you know, just had a kid and her breasts were lactating and going through her shirt. Like, she would be mortified. And then he just shared it online. It's just ridiculous. And the one thing I said, and I'll end it here, is that, you know, Matt was like, no, I find it funny. It's hilarious. It's a sense of humor. You know, he'll find it funny until it's not funny anymore, until she makes a joke that embarrasses him. And then he's going to have to backtrack this. And like women, very much like children, we always push the envelope. So having the standard of like, oh yeah, you can just take pot shots at me publicly. That's your brand. Ha ha, chum chum. It's very egalitarian. It's very equal. There's clearly not a sense of reverence in his frame as a husband. He's a public figure. Like, I'm tired. It's a grift. You know, I'm tired of, like, I've never heard Matt Walsh talk about submission. Not once. I've never heard him talk about submission. Like I've never heard Candace Owens talk about submission. What are they mutually submitting? That's not a thing. So speaking of Candace, like red line theory, green line theory, just to put a picture of her and George up, and he's like, hee hee, and I see all the time now. But you know, I don't see him actually making patriarchal talking points. So That's all you need to know.
And also, I would say that his wife is setting a precedent that Matt Walsh can be trolled and shouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah,
It's
good
like
point.
if other people troll you, I mean, your own wife trolls you, bro. So why are you getting mad at me for doing it? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Pearl, great episode. This episode was clutch. You literally hit this topic from every different angle, like perfectly to the T. I'm 37. I've been noticing this my entire life. And men, they notice it. They know it's wrong, but like they're not practicing skill with articulating it and calling it out. And if they do, they'll get terrorized by women for noticing it and mentioning it. But this would never happen the other way around. Like just imagine if it was the other way around. Like a man's like, oh yeah, my whole ex account existed. Troll my wife. Ha ha ha. This is so funny. Ha ha. And all the women would freak out. Oh my God, he's supposed to be empowering me and loving me. And oh my God, this is horrible and disrespectful. He made the documentary, What is a Woman? And the irony is he's in a trans relationship himself. Like the most important part is on the inside. Matt Walsh, the Daily Wire, I've never been a fan of the Daily Wire because they've always been so beta, so pathetic, so feminist. Not a single one of them is teaching patriarchy. So if you're not teaching and applying patriarchy, you are a feminist. Republicans have been feminists for a long time, and this was a perfect example. Great job, Pearl. Same.
Yeah, and why do you think they allow their wives to get away with it?
They're afraid. They're cowards. They're afraid their wife's going to terrorize them every day in their own home.
It's for the schmonies.
Or divorce them and leave them in alimony, child support, steal their kids, ruin their life.
They should just, I'm like, why do you guys put up with this stuff? I mean, it's better to be alone in an apartment in a mattress than with these crazy women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask you two, why is it that a woman like Alyssa Walsh, who has 6 children and is married to a man who is successful and gives her the means to be able to take care of 6 children, why is being his wife and the mother of his children not enough? What happened?
Feminism.
How do we get here?
I think like women are so covetousness of the abilities of men, and men can replace women in basically every aspect that they contribute to society, and women can't do that in response. So they're always overcompensating.
That. They're always projecting. So projecting is when you just lie. You say the opposite of what's true. So women need men, but men don't need women. So that's why women go around saying all the time, "Oh, we don't need men. Oh, we don't need men." Really, why in 6,000 years has there never been a female-only society? Go ahead and do all the things that men do. Build your own military. Do all the construction work. Where are the female societies in history? They don't exist. Like why hasn't feminism popped up throughout all of history before? It's because it can't exist. Like and we say it all the time. We're gonna say it again. Pearl was so proud of you for starting to say it. Is that women are the eldest children in the home. And so the same dynamic that happens between a mom and a child, that's the exact dynamic that should happen between a husband and a wife. And if women aren't oppressing their children, then men aren't oppressing women either. The exact same dynamic in every single way.
Yeah.
And just when women start getting traction on this whole "we don't need men" thing, something happens, like a war over in the eastern part of the world somewhere where all the women got to run away and all the men had to fight. Imagine that.
Yeah, equality just magically went out the window. Yeah, exactly what it came to the war in Ukraine, precisely. If you don't have an obligation in defending the country, you don't get a say in how it's ran. Yeah. And you don't have to defend it, you don't get to vote. The privilege of voting comes with the obligation of the draft. Simple as that.
Joel,
go ahead, Pearl.
What is the worst instance you've had of a woman disrespecting you publicly?
Me? Oh gosh, quite a few to list. Quite a few to list. Like they all did. Everywhere from my mom to my former longest relationship, before Lior, what, the last one is too traumatizing. I'm not even going to say, but yeah, like women live a lifestyle of disrespecting men. So it's so amazing that they like demand respect for men. But so respect, like either women like don't know what words mean, or they're purposely using it in like a trans way. Yeah. Like so respect is something you do to someone like in authority, right?
Right.
You're supposed to respect God. You're supposed to respect your boss. You're supposed to respect your dad. You're supposed to respect your husband, right? Children are supposed to respect their mom. So you're supposed to respect someone who is either an authority over you or someone who's extremely admirable, right? So like men are required to love women as long as women are doing what they're supposed to do, right? So as soon as a woman's like, oh, I'm not obeying you. Okay, cool. I don't have to love you. Bam. Look at that. It's conditional, you know. But yeah, I pretty like until Lior, I was disrespected by probably all women like my entire life, and then and it was only once I set the tone when we were dating early on, I said like I'm not going to tolerate it. As soon as I see one incident that you're out, and that's going to last for life, you know. And then that's the only time that it didn't happen actually. So
Wow. Do you have any other questions, Doug MPA?
I want to ask the lady, what is your name?
Lior?
Lior? Okay. You've had friends that are women your whole life. So you've probably seen some friends do some crazy stuff to men in public. So what was the craziest thing you've ever seen a woman do to disrespect her husband or her boyfriend in public? Or did you not hang out with those kind of girls?
Well, I was always kind of like a loner and a tomboy, so I really didn't. I didn't go to college. I didn't really go to a lot of these scenes, but I certainly saw my mother disrespect my father a lot, and you know what? I think what I used to see most is like women correcting their husband publicly, kind of like what we saw with Alex Jones's wife. It's like, no, you didn't need to say that, honey. What you meant to say like this. Like, I don't think that's real. What he meant to say was na 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 na. So it's like, you know, the women are always trying to posture the husband because they can't stand the feeling of his inferiority because it's just they're drenched in it. You know, we're inferior. Deal with it, ladies. So, but because it's like an unflattering thing, I want to be powerful. I want to power. Like, whenever you note it, like power is not something that like most people should seek, especially not women. So when women are using that term a lot, like just immediately, that's the red flag going up. So they're like, that's not empowering. Like, bitch, who says that you need to feel powerful? Like, you need to feel humble. Like,
if you want power, you're evil. Exactly. Don't we think Adolf Hitler was evil because he wanted power? Wasn't Satan evil for wanting power? If you want power, you're evil. Like with men, like the only power that they have is like just a whole life of obligation. Oh yeah, you have the power to protect and die for me. That's where your power. You know, you have the power to enslave, work, and provide for me. Blah blah blah. You know, so like when men have a position of power, it's always like in servitude for the benefit of people below them. It's not just for their own like glory, etc. But for women, it definitely is. So anyone who wants power is evil, full stop. And what do you know? All women want to be empowered today. Yeah. What does that tell you?
Men realize that the power comes with tremendous responsibility for the people beneath them. And women are just like, no, it's just like about me. Once I got the power, I got the power. Like they're obsessed with it. That was is that a woman singing? Actually, that could be a guy falsetto. I'm not sure about that, but you know.
No, it's just one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so it's been going on for a while. And before we hop off, you know, Pearl, you're doing such an amazing job. And one thing you talk a lot about is like the radical acceptance. And, you know, we can't change anything and we shouldn't even bother. But I don't think you really believe that. You know, I think that if you weren't troubled by this and if you didn't want to see something change, we wouldn't be having this show. We wouldn't be having this conversation. You know, sometimes, like, we love you to pieces, and you know this. So sometimes you say like I can't see that happening in my life. Well, a lot of stuff happened in our lifetime that we did not imagine seeing. Like, I didn't imagine seeing publicly admitting that they're porta potties, that they let people poop on them. I didn't expect people. I did not expect that. I did not expect people cutting off their bodily organs. I did not expect to see that in my lifetime. Joel, growing up, you know, Massachusetts got like gay marriage. We did not. His people. You know, I grew up in Massachusetts, so I'm a fair bit. I'm like 6 years younger than Joel, but like. He did not expect the United States as a sweeping statement to have gay marriage everywhere. So just because we can't imagine something maybe in the immediate future. It doesn't mean it's not possible. And
Yeah.
I hope it does. I'm just not, I'm a betting woman.
Only 4% of women were feminists in 1920, right? Feminism had never existed in history before, right? Women never had the privilege of voting without the obligation of the draft. But because 4% of women unified, put all their differences aside and unified, they were able to change it for everyone else, you know? So I think if we can get just half a conservative men, or even less, that's 12%, 41 million men, I think we could change things. I think we could change things tomorrow. I think the only thing holding men back is like, first of all, put your religious differences aside. You're never going to be on the same page. It doesn't matter. Unify on patriarchy alone. So unify, number one. Men are really bad at that. Unify, and then once you're unified, then you can organize and do a plan. But we could change this tomorrow if we had the willpower, if we had the unity.
You know, Joe and I.
So don't preemptively demoralize yourself in your own brain. It's literally just a matter of will. If women could if they could actually bring about matriarchy when it never existed before, you better believe that guys can reestablish patriarchy when it was the only game in town for 6,000 years.
I'll send him to you, Joel.
Thank you.
I'll say he's got a plan.
Thanks, bro. We changed our name on our YouTube. It's Joel and Leor now.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for calling in. It's a pleasure as always. Calling anytime.
I'm gonna put you guys' channel in the chat.
We're going to visit. We're going a tour of the White House. I gotta say this just because who knows who's watching, but we're getting a tour of the White House on May 3rd, and I'm just hoping that Trump's there. That could be like, yo, Trump, supplication.
Get these Trump. Why are you hiring Trump? Trump. Why are you hiring all these women?
Thanks for having us, Pearl.
Bye.
Love you, Pearl.
Bye. Thanks so much.